Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cup2Hook Conversations number 46. Whew, a little late, but I made it. If you knew what we've been through today. Oh my goodness. Hello, Miss Jen. How are you? Oh my gosh. Literally, I just walked. Well, I wished I walked in the door, but the expression, we just walked in the door. Oh my gosh, what a day. We have been on the road for hours today. And oh my goodness. So I'm going to try to stay awake. Yes. Miss Jenna, I did a U today. We just drove and drove and drove and drove. Hey, Mare. It is so good to have you here with me. Oh my goodness. Jen says, me too. She is tired too. She says, hi, Mare. So, oh my gosh, yes. We got up early to go to the wound doctor, only to discover that we actually forgot that they told us that we could come back in 2 weeks instead of 1 week. We were just so in the habit of going every week. So anyway, so we had gotten up for that, and yeah. So early start to the day. And then we went to Easley, South Carolina to finally get to see Todd's grandmother for the first time in over a year since COVID. It hasn't quite been a year and a half, but it is closer to a year and a half than it was the year mark. And so, oh my gosh, it was almost like getting through Fort Knox just to get in there. You had to do, just like you do everywhere else, the temperature checks and all of that, and fill out all this information and whatnot. And it was just like, oh, can we just go see her? And then there was word that we would only get 30 minutes. And I'm thinking, oh no, we drove way too far for 30 minutes. And then we get in there, and the first 30 minutes we were there, she, bless her heart, was actually in the restroom. So we got probably about just under a 3-hour visit with her. So how nice that was to finally get to see her. So yeah. And Jen says 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. all day driving. I know you are tired. Mary says just putting a sweater on, feeling a little chilled. Jen says, yay, about seeing grandmama. I know what you're talking about, Mare. Like, I have this short sleeve shirt on right here. And then I had this kind of like, it's a light cotton jacket. But I went from hot to cold all day long. It was just crazy. Tried to have the heat blowing on the feet portion to keep the leg warm. But because I had the heat on my side of the car, I would have to roll down my window a little bit just to have the breeze hitting my face. So crazy day. I can only imagine what it must be like for women who have to deal with hot flashes. Oh my gosh. But anyway, you guys, I've missed you guys so much. I know I've seen some of you throughout the past week as I've tried to get back on schedule, but for Cup2Hook Conversations, it's been a while, and I'm looking, and I'm actually showing that I have nobody online with me. So did I lose everybody? Oh. Where did everybody go? Oh, I got one back. And I've got some comments coming through. Let's see. Jen says we can never be satisfied, right? And Mary says, I am not a flasher out loud. No, me neither. Jen says, are you in live chat? I think so. It says live chat, but it shows I have only one person on and 2 thumbs up. So I thought maybe I had lost connection or something. Jen says, that's weird. Oops, let me back up. That is weird, Jen. Mare says, since I got my shot on Wednesday, I've had chills on and off. Oh, wow. Bless your heart. Which one did you get, Mare? As I've talked with you, Todd and I got our first shot last Friday, a week ago. The Pfizer. Okay, that's the one that we got as well. And I had no problems. There was a little bit of sensitivity to the, where they gave me the shot, but only if I touched it or bumped it. Other than that, I was good. But Todd, he had body aches, and his arms and his shoulders were very stiff and sore, and at times he felt nauseous. So, I hate that. I hope next Friday on the 16th, we go back to get the second one. And I've heard women tend to not do well with the second one. So hope that's not the case. The doctor told us before we went to go get it, we went from wound care to that, told us to take some Tylenol before we went. And we did. Both of us did. And so the only thing I can kind of, chalk it up to is that between the Tylenol and the lovely pain meds that I'm on, it kind of protected me. So anyway, okay. Now I'm showing 3 people. So 4 people. So whoever all of the 4 of you are, I can tell that I definitely have Jen, Mare. And so whoever the other 2 are, welcome, welcome. You guys, it is so, so good to be back. Like I have missed this greatly, more than you'll ever know. I'm so thankful, though, for the time that I took off, the time that I focused on recovering, because honestly, every 2-3 hours, I am just like dozing off. So I know I needed that time. I still doze off. I fall asleep on many people. I hate it when I fall asleep on my husband, especially when he first comes home and he's trying to tell me about his day, and he's not even been home, 30 minutes, an hour, and I am just fighting to stay awake. And one afternoon he was telling me about, kind of an eventful day that they had, and I could tell he was really wanting to talk about his day, and I was fighting it. And, he's talking, and I'm just like, girl, this man has done a lot for you. You need to get it together and stay awake. And next thing I know, I kind of felt myself kind of like, and then I'm like, what? Tell me. He's like, no, we'll talk about it later. No, I'm listening. I felt so bad. So it wasn't until we finally went to bed he got to tell his story. Bless him. So I have not slept very much today. So I'm hoping between tonight's events that you guys will help keep me awake. Mara says, my arm was very sore. I felt my arm had been punched and bruised. It is still sore, but not as bad. Yeah, he felt the same way, Mare. So I feel bad for both of you. I feel bad for anybody. I don't want anybody to hurt or be sick. It just, it's not the way to live. So I hope that it continues to get better quickly. And of course, you've got another one to do. So I'm going to pray that all of us get through this. But anyway, you guys, I'm sitting here looking at my big 80s looking hair. It is just like, I'm sure that's from being windblown. So, sorry about all that. All right. Oh my gosh, where to start? It's just so great to be back. I can just feel the love. I can just feel your smiles. I can just, feel the warmth of friendship. It's a beautiful thing. Friendship is a beautiful thing. And we started our Bible study back today. And of course, I do the preparations on Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, I normally record, and then it's uploaded, Friday morning, which I got that done. And I got the thumbnail for Cup2Hook Conversations done before we left this morning. And anyway, today the Bible study talked a lot about friendship, and just how important it is. And some of the words that came out were that it's absolutely necessary. And I'm just going to share this real quick because friendship is important. So let's flip over. So some of the specific words that they used. Essential. Friendships are essential. And that's sweet. And we should not forsake our friendships. That's how important, God tells us that they are. And I can feel that love and that warmth from y'all. For me, that's part of my Friday joy today. Is just this moment right here with you guys. So I just thank you all for being here. Petra, hello, my friend. Oh my gosh, hugs to you. She says, hi, Cynthia, and all my lovely and special sisters. See, you guys, this friendship, this sisterhood. And David, if you're with us, lurking, brotherhood, it's essential. It's absolutely necessary. So, all right, you guys, what's in your cups? I was drinking tea. That's what I left here with, and I ran out. So Todd picked us up some soda. I don't normally drink soda, but it was kind of nice and refreshing. So that's what I'm drinking in my little cup from my friend Sonia that she sent, the one that says God's grace, unmerited favor, Jesus is Lord. She got Todd one just like this. Mine's blue, and I think his is black, and it says the same thing. But then on this side, we have our own individual initials, and then it says "Love you always." But so that's what's in my cup. Something very, very unhealthy, but definitely refreshing. All right. Jen says, hi, Petra. Mare says, hi, sweet Petra. Petra says, I am drinking up my Diet Dr. Pepper with my supper. Oh, yum, yum. That's something that Todd's going to start working on very soon. We were going to stop and get something, but I was like, no, if we go straight home, I'll just be late. So that's what we did. So he's going to see what the kitchen produces. I said, if it ends up being even just a bowl of cereal, I'll be happy. It's better than nothing, right? But I think he's looking at something else. Petra says, hi, Jen Reeves. Petra says, hi, Mare. Mare says, I am drinking sparkling ice water coconut pineapple flavor. And she says, yum. And I completely and totally agree. That is yum. Oh, my gosh. Mare, one of my protein shakes this past week, I actually use coconut water in with my protein stuff, and I added fresh pineapple. So it was kind of a coconut pineapple drink. It wasn't sparkling, but it was chilled because I did add some ice to it and crushed it up in it with all the many other little sweet perks I put in it. But aren't those flavors really good together? They are very yummy. I completely agree. Okay. It wouldn't be a Cup2Hook conversation if we didn't go from what's in our cups to what's on our hooks. So what is everybody working on? And I don't apologize for that sound anymore, because that sound right there is just a little notification telling me that one of you have put a video on YouTube for me to watch. Woot woot. Oh, speaking of YouTube and notifications, I have a question. Mare says, I love coconut water. I just discovered it when I was getting the almond milk, because, they've asked me to up my protein intake because, one, I don't eat a lot of food anymore. And right now they're just kind of chalking that up to still from all the hours I was under anesthesia. and then the pain meds I'm on. But they're pushing me to get as much protein in my body as I can because of the lack of nutrition and to help with the wound, which, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not going to say a whole lot. My wound, oh my gosh, I have been with the wound center now a month. Okay. So I'm finishing 8 weeks. Yesterday was 8 weeks from the second surgery. And so, no, that can't be right, can it? Because I was thinking I was 6 weeks in before Wound Center got involved. I guess not. I guess it was only. Anyway, when I started Wound Center 4 weeks ago, you could have literally lost a quarter in that wound. Like you could have dropped it in like a slot machine and you would have completely lost the quarter. It would have, the quarter would have just disappeared. Now you might get the tip of your pinky in there. So praise the Lord. So anyway, I know that's not what you want to talk about, but I'm so grateful and thankful for that. So maybe instead of another 3 to 4 weeks with the Wound Care Center, maybe next Friday will be my last day. All right. What's on your hooks? I am so anxious to know. Mare says I'm in the final stretch on my cotton shawl. And Jen says Bod's Bush Tracker beanie for a challenge and a filet crochet puppy baby blanket. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that baby blanket sounds so adorable. Who doesn't love puppies? I mean, oh, and speaking of puppies, you guys, Mare, thank you. I got your little comment. I read it on the road today. I didn't respond because at the time I was feeling nauseous, but it was just because I needed to eat. I had taken my meds. We jumped on the road and we hadn't eaten yet. And I usually don't take them without eating. But anyway, we were trying to get on the road so we could get back. But I'm so sorry. I have come to learn, and I did go and look at it. But my video yesterday for the My Joyful Life series on Sadie and Mackenzie, when it got to kind of part of the end of the video, when I was showing y'all Callie, who was my cat, my Mancoon cat, that I miss dearly, but, you know, rest in peace, it wasn't there. And then the pictures of Falcor, who is my other grand dog, was not there. So what I may do is just do a small little extra video clip that will put those in there so that you guys can meet Callie Boy and Falcor. But thank you for letting me know. If the video didn't have some kind of little extra something special in it, I would have just kind of taken it down and redone the whole thing, but I can't do that. But maybe I can do it after next Friday. So, but yes, that puppy blanket, Jen, sounds so sweet. Hello, Froggy Winna Knitting is here. She says, hey, Cynthia. So continue telling me what is on your hooks. I'm going to show you guys some things that are on my hooks. I have more things on my hooks right now than I've ever had at one time. I've never had so many whips going at one time. So I got to get some stuff done. All right. So this was the one that I took on the road today, but I didn't do a whole lot on it because I tried to rest. But I am using, I am using the Yarn Inspirations Karen Cotton Cakes. Jen says, hi, Jennifer. And she says, I'm crocheting a crochet along king size Afghan. It is taking forever. I imagine so, being a king size. And then she says, hey, Jen. And it's in the colorway Sunset Dreams. Isn't that pretty? It is a medium 4, I believe. Yes. But this is, take the brakes off here. All right. This is the baby blanket that I'm making from it. Let me get my yarn untangled from coming out of the bag. It's just kind of like a little lacy blanket. And so that is it right there. It's getting fairly long, so I will soon kind of put some kind of border on it. I'm not sure what kind of border I'm going to put just yet. But that one's actually almost in completion. Oh, thank you. Froggy One and Knitting said beautiful. And I'm going to show you the other one that I was doing. Thank you, Jen. Jen says that's beautiful. On Wednesday on the Hook, our little 1 hour free crocheting. And that's this one here, using the Nicole Stitch Studio yarn. I'm kind of already working out of this last skein, so I have to be careful, but this is it here. And I think it's called Coral. Macaroon Coral is what it's called. But it was some of that AC Moore yarn, the Stitch Studio by Nicole. And of course, it's 100% polyester. It's a bulky 5. And again, I'm almost done with this one. I am to the point that I'm starting to work on the border. It is really big. It's huge. But this is it here. And I would stand up to try to show you the length, but I'm going to be honest, my leg is really tired and really swollen from having rode around in the car a lot today and sitting in the wheelchair and not being really elevated. So, but anyway, it's pretty big and it's almost done. So all of these will more than likely be completed by next week. And then I do have the blanket back here that I'm working on for the Yarn Joy Adventures. And again, I don't want to pull the yarn out. And that's the bag Miss Bree gave me that I've got that in. But this is it here. And I'm not going to make it too big because I want it to be more like a little car seat blanket. But I've showed you that a little bit not too long ago. And then, of course, you just never know when I'm going to get on a whim, but this is the Longmire blanket. I've been kind of stingy about showing it when I'm a little bit ahead, but all you're going to see is what's coming out for Monday. So, but I'm so happy with this. Oh my gosh, you guys. I hope y'all are as happy with it as with yours as I am with mine. But this is the top of it. And I hope you can see that. I can't really see what you see. There you go. Isn't that awesome? Ah! I so love that. So we've got a little bit more to finish on the top here, and then we'll start the border. So I think, oh, I got one more thing I want to show you, but I'm going to read some of your comments first. So, all right, let's see. Oh, yes, I've got lots of comments coming through. Let me see here. Okay, so Jen, you said that's beautiful, your own pattern. Which one are you referring to? The lacy blanket, the Nicole Stitch Studio blanket, the Yarn Joy blanket? So let me know which one you're talking about. Froggy When a Knitting says, I miss AC Moore. You and me both. You guys, I have been watching several of our, YouTube family put videos up about Hobby Lobby having their yarn 75% off. So the only thing I asked my husband today was, I know that in Easley, South Carolina, where his grandmother is living, that there is a Hobby Lobby there. And I said, can we please stop by there? And I was excited. I was ready, because let's face it, even if I walked out of there with, $50, $100 worth of yarn, it would have been almost triple in quantity, what I would have normally gotten, because it would be 75% off. They had not one sale, period. None. I'm looking all around the store and I'm seeing flowers. I'm seeing decorative picture frames. I'm seeing home decor. I'm seeing the material. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. And it's anywhere from 20%, 40%, 50%, 60%. And then, of course, the Easter stuff was 66%. Yarn, 0. So I walked in with nothing, and I left with nothing. I mean, it's no fun to buy yarn at full price. I was disappointed. And the very words out of my mouth is, why AC Moore? Why? So I'm with you. I miss AC Moore. There was nothing like AC Moore. You could walk into any AC Moore anywhere. And granted, they did not have as many stores as Hobby Lobby or Michael's has. But you could walk in any of their stores and you would have a smorgasbord of yarn. Different brands, different sizes, different colors. I mean, it was every yarn lover's dream. And we've not had a store like that since. That's my opinion. But anyway, I'm an AC Moore and I miss them dearly. Dearly, dearly, dearly. And they say they went bankrupt, and I don't understand. Because goodness knows, I put a lot of my paychecks into that AC Moore that we had in Columbia. And my income tax every year, oh my gosh, my husband and I got play money every year. I didn't have play money. I had yarn money. So I miss them. All right. Petra says, that blanket is so nice, Cynthia. And I apologize. I wasn't catching your comments. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, Petra. Bree says, what did I miss, lovelies? Hello, Bree. I just mentioned your name a minute ago, talking about using your bag that you got me. Froggy When a Knitting said, so lovely. Jen says, hi, Bree. Bree says, hi, Jen. How are you? Petra says, hi, Bree and Froggy When a Knitting. And Froggy When a Knitting says, it jumped. Sorry. Hey, Bree. I love it. Mare says, so pretty. Bree says, hello to all. Missed y'all bunches. I know, right? We talked about that, Bree, when I first came on. I literally have just scoot booted off the road, been on the road since early this morning. So glad to not only be back in my town, but I'm so happy to be home. I'm going to be even happier between this live and the next live for movie night to get shoes off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will not look this dressed up for movie night. Mare says, hi, Bree and Jen. Froggy Went and Knitting says, Mare, hugs. Jen says, Bree, I'm very tired, but good. Thanks. And you? Mare says, or Froggy Jen. Jen says, lacy pink and blue. Okay. It is not my design. And I will tell you what, when I do the video that shows it completed, which will probably be, if it's not next week, it will be the first of the following week. I will include the link of the designer for that blanket. Petra says, when was this, Cynthia? I'm so sorry, y'all, that I talk too much sometimes, and I should be reading y'all's comments as they come through. So, Petra, please help me when you said, when was this, Cynthia? Mary says, mine HL is like that. Never any clearance items. And Petra might have been talking about Hobby Lobby. She said, and that's what Mare is referring to too. Her Hobby Lobby is like that. I never really went into Hobby Lobby a whole lot, only if I was looking for something specific and I couldn't find it at AC Moore or Michael's. I even had kind of chose Joann's over Hobby Lobby. But, you know, Kelly Platter blessed me tremendously with several Hobby Lobby stuff. And so I became a Hobby Lobby, you know, love of especially the home decor. I still am not 100% won over on the yarn yet, but at this point, I feel like I'm a beggar of yarn, meaning that, you know, AC Moore spoiled me so badly that I almost feel like that any place I go into that's not an AC Moore, I'm not 100% satisfied. Like I was always like a kid in a candy shop when I went into AC Moore. Was never disappointed, always walked out with something. And I would probably say 1 out of 4 times when I've walked into Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or Joann's, I've actually walked out with nothing. And that's like unheard of. Like, who does that? I mean, who can't find like one thing of yarn, you know? But anyway, so yeah, it's sad. And Walmart's, I still go look, but oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Because most of the time in Walmart, the shelves are just empty. Now, some of you guys have been posting these wonderful videos about the yarn and the accessories at the dollar store. Our dollar store? I mean, they fit all the yarn in a basket no bigger than you know, my little bag here. I mean, that's not a very big bag. And it's so sad. And the first time I ever saw yarn in the dollar store, I saw crochet hooks and some knitting needles. We don't even see those in there anymore. And it's just sad. But anyway, what are we going to do, my friends? Oh, so I was going to ask you a question, and I don't know that I actually asked it. First and foremost, I'm going to apologize that if you send me a comment and I respond back to you and you respond back to me, I have always been good about making sure that no matter how many comments come through, I respond to each and every comment. And so if you respond back to a comment that I've made to you and you don't hear from me, please do not ever think that I'm ignoring that comment. I am no longer getting YouTube notifications in my email. And so I've done everything. I have restarted my computer. I have uninstalled and reinstalled, you know, YouTube. I've checked all the settings and notifications. I've undone them. I've re-clicked them. I've even let them sit for a couple of days off, gone back and turned them on and let them sit a couple of days. I have not gotten notifications from YouTube, whether it's comments, whether it's, other content creators that I follow putting out videos. I have not received that in almost a month now, and it's depressing. So I'm curious if any of you are experiencing that, or if you did experience it and you have it back now. What did you do? Any suggestions? Because I heavily relied on those notifications to, one, make sure I never miss a comment, because in my comment section, it's only going to show me your comment the first time you make a comment. Once I respond to your comment, I don't see it in my comment section, but I did in my email notifications. Number two, if I am following someone's channel, unless I just start scrolling through the notifications on my phone, then, like on YouTube itself, I may or may not catch their newest video. And I follow quite a lot of people, so it's hard to just go and start typing everybody's name in. So I relied heavily on those email notifications, but I'm not getting them. But anyway, so let me know if you guys are experiencing the same thing or if it's just me. But I'm thinking about next week actually trying to reach out to YouTube and like, can you help me with this? Or is this something you guys have done and we're just, out of luck? Jen says today, Petra. Okay, so you must have been talking about when I went to Hobby Lobby. Yes, it was today. Bree's little corner. Bree says, hi, Mare. Bree says, living the yarny good life, Jen. I'm always tired, but just keep stitching away. I love your positive attitude, Bree, because I know that it's not quite that simple, but I love your go-get-it attitude. Jen says, that's wonderful, Bree. Mare says, hey, Bree, today I found out I need to make a baby boy gift set for a work colleague. And Bree, that ice cream yarn you sent me, I think will make a lovely blanket. Oh, that's so warm and squishy. I love it. I love it. Bree says, awesome, Mare. Mare says, wow, I thought I was the only one who walked out with nothing at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Not anymore, Mare. I mean, now, Mare, if I live close to you, I bet you I would not walk out of that Lion Brand warehouse empty-handed. I am pretty sure I would not. So it's probably a good thing I don't live near you. But I might finally be satisfied and not miss AC Moore. But, yeah. I just wish someone could research what AC Moore had and just replicate it. I really was, I began to become more excited about Michael's when I heard that Michael's was buying out the AC Moores. But the only good thing about Michael's is the reward, money that you get. But the catch is you have to find something and be happy with what's on the shelves or on the online store and find it in stock and actually purchase it in order to get those rewards. So sometimes it's a win-win, sometimes it's a loss-loss. Well, Mare, when you do make that baby blanket, you'll have to share. Bree says, Michael's here has lousy selections, always out of stock in store and online. Joann's, forget that, she says. Hobby Lobby was 10 blocks from my old house. Was in there 2 times in 6 years. Wow. And see, I wish Michael's could hear some of this. I really think, because I know that yarn is not the only, top item that they sell. But I know that there's a huge market in their yarn section. And I feel like if they could just hear some of the feedback we're giving, you know, that they could turn that around and make things even better for themselves, you know. I know I mentioned that Michaels was being bought out by a private company named Apollo. I think Apollo is buying kind of like the rights of it, but they're still going to run it as Michaels. So I believe the stores will still remain Michaels, but I don't know. It would just be nice if someone could, you know, reach out to the yarn community, even on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and just start asking opinions, you know, and just bettering the quality of their store or even their, you know, the customer's online experience through them. I mean, honestly, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, all of them could benefit from that. They're all big stores that could have an amazing potential. But it's sad when we start actually, and no offense to other countries, but it's sad when we're actually reaching out and buying yarn from other countries because our top yarn stores are letting us down. So, I mean, I can expect empty shelves and not a huge selection from Walmart, you know, because Walmart's a kind of a shop at all kind of store. It's not a craft store. So I expect that more from Walmart and don't really hold it against them, although it is frustrating that you can find a Walmart on almost every corner, you know, where you can't a Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. But nonetheless, I feel like Walmart is doing somewhat the best it can, considering it's not a craft store. But anyway, and even when Target was going to sell yarn, you know, I got so excited, but the first couple times I started going into Target looking for their yarn, I mean, that's it. You had to look for it because it wasn't even like a big section, you know. It might have been just a little, you know, what, 3-4 foot shelf, and that was it. So, and they were like little, you know, little tiny skeins. So, Mare says, yes, Bree, I'm going to add gray to pick up the gray in that yarn, and I think that will make it a lovely gift. So I must have missed the gray part. Petra says, I would reach out to YouTube. It may just be a glitch. Thank you, Petra. I think that's what I'm going to do because I miss it greatly. And like I do take the comment sections. That's the one thing I focus the most on with my channel, you know, outside of putting the content out. But that's the most important thing to me. Like I go to those comments first always before I go look at anything else. The analytics, the monetization, any of that, I go straight to those comments. And yes, sometimes I'm scrolling through the notifications on my phone under just the regular YouTube, and then I might see a comment from somebody, and I'm like, well, I didn't get that. And then I realize they're commenting on a comment that I've already commented on. And it's frustrating because I don't ever want y'all to think that I'm just like, because that's not it. Oh, that would just crush me if y'all ever thought that. Petra says, Cynthia, Hobby Lobby won't have their clearance yarn until the end of summer. The clearance they had recently was just on accessories. Thank you, Petra. Because like I said before earlier, I was not really ever a big Hobby Lobby person. I only went in there like only under a necessity. So I was not aware of, you know, how that worked. I didn't even know they had a huge clearance like that, other than the fact that here recently, this past week, I was watching videos where, you know, some of our content creators were going on and being, you know, Hobby Lobby haul because yarn was 75% off. And I'm like, what? I've never heard of yarn 75% off. I mean, buy one, get one 50% off. That's like the greatest deal I've seen yet in all the years I've been crocheting. So Yeah, maybe getting yarn at 75% off. Whew, that would be yummy. So thank you. Well, I will definitely keep my eyes and ears open because, yeah. Jen says, I heard that Michael's was bought out, and we've talked about that. Mare says, I hate Michael's website and their awful poorly stocked yarn section. Well, my husband says that he didn't feel like she was being kind of too rude, but when we were in Hobby Lobby this afternoon and I saw no discount anywhere, not even a buy one, get one 50% off or buy two, get one free, 20% off, nothing. I asked a sales associate, I said, is the yarn not on sale? Oh, no, ma'am, it's only every other week. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, so y'all aren't doing any kind of clearance? And she says, the only clearance we're doing is the Easter sale at 66%. And I'm like, oh, well, when is that? Or did I already miss it? And she kind of looked at me funny and she was like, just whenever it sells out. And I'm like, we're no longer talking about yarn, are we? She's like, no, I'm talking about Easter decorations, Easter sale. And so I'm just like, yeah, well, I didn't ask you about Easter decorations. I asked you about yarn. So my husband said I was just all in my feelings because I just didn't get to have yarn at a discount. That she was really not being rude. She was just being young. But I thought she was being rude. I didn't ask her about Easter decorations. I asked her about yarn. uh, let's see. Froggy Winden said, still here listening and crocheting. That's perfectly fine. I'm running my mouth way too much anyway. Hello, Leanne. Welcome. She says, hello, Cynthia. Jen says, hi, Leanne. Leanne says, hey, Jen. Mare says, they make more money in their other departments because yarn takes up a lot of shelf space. Yes, but there's a lot of yarny people out there. And I don't mean just, even crocheting and knitting. I mean, I've seen people use yarn for other things. So just saying. I mean, when I was a youth minister, I wasn't crocheting at that point in time in my life. And I was buying yarn quite a bit. I used it for a lot of youth activities. So just saying. But I do understand that. They do have other, departments where merchandise is more in demand than the yarn, but there's still us little yarn people out there. Sorry, I just touched the wheel of my wheelchair and it actually cut my finger. I'm trying to figure out what part of the wheel that is. That's sharp like that. Anyway, Mare says, FYI, I do damage in Lion Brand, but the best buys are the discontinued or Mills in. So you need to be a good yarn chicken player to shop there. I hear you. Well, I would just have to learn from the best, Mare. Jen says, Mare, I'd like to give it a try, right? I mean, let's just make a girls' weekend and, Mare can be our teacher, our mentor. Jen says, I love chicken. Petra says, Hobby Lobby does have their yarn at 75% off during their clearance, though. Amazing deals. Here's the thing. I love Hobby Lobby because of the atmosphere. I go when yarn is 30% off. So, Petra, I'm so thankful that you were actually on this live tonight because you did hit something on the nail. And that is, I do like the atmosphere of Hobby Lobby. I do feel like that they do have everything, to me, Michael's just kind of seems to like put things here and there. I will say this. Hobby Lobby does seem to have their stuff lined up. I've never seen an empty shelf. I've never even seen an empty hole in any Hobby Lobby I've ever gone into. Number two, even though I thought, the little girl was a little, on the roof side for me today. I do feel that a lot of the associates are very helpful. And I do love the fact that when you enter, they do usually say, "Welcome to Hobby Lobby." Somewhere somebody is saying that to you as you walk through the door. And they're very clean. The store is very clean. The bathrooms, oh gosh, if I can help avoid a public bathroom any day, I will avoid it with every cost. But being in this wheelchair right now, clean bathrooms are like epic to me, And I will tell you, I would much rather go in a Hobby Lobby restroom than Michael's. Just saying. So, and yes, I would go shopping at 30% off. Like I said, I've never heard of anywhere getting yarn at 75% off. And that's only if maybe I happen to found an Easter egg in a Goodwill, but not brand new yarn. So I would do it at 30% off. To me, 30% off is huge, but they didn't have nothing. Like, I was a sad puppy walking out of Hobby Lobby. Not that I needed any other yarn right now, clearly, but yarn shopping it's a pick-me-up. So, but thank you, Petra, for being here tonight and bringing the positive end of things to light for me, and for all of us, and just sharing a little bit of joy. And Petra, exactly, that was literally, I kid you not, the words off my mouth next. And then she says, "I love just walking around." I do too. Todd and I have come to find that we love the home decor section. I give Kelly a lot of, props to that because of some of the beautiful things that she has helped decorate my studio with. Todd and I have actually enjoyed walking around and looking at the signs and just the little trinkets. And now he actually will go walk around in there looking for the word joy, anything he can find the word joy on. And so not only is he trying to show me pretty yarn, he's now looking for joy on everything. So I agree. And I love the way they set their displays up. So Petra, I do 100% agree with you. I even find myself looking in departments in departments of merchandise that I know nothing about and won't have any use for. But I love just looking at the way they set things up, their displays. So, yes, I could easily hurt myself in Hobby Lobby. And in fact, there was an easel in there today that was a chalkboard easel, chalkboard on both sides. And ever since I got to get out of the way a little bit so you can see it. This board right there with my weekly schedule for my videos and everything that has to be done every week for me to make sure every video goes out every day that it's supposed to. I have fallen in love with that chalkboard, and I have fallen in love. I don't know if you can really see them, but they're right there in that basket. The chalkboard paint markers, which is why that writing looks so nice and neat. And so I fell in love with that easel, but I didn't get it because right now I'm not doing any craft shows or anything like that, because it would be a little bit hard at the moment for me to get around and do something like that. So, but yes, I could drop my whole stimulus and my whole income tax check in Hobby Lobby, and Still find stuff. So I'm not knocking it. I just don't like buying yarn at full price. I guess I'm stingy. I like to find it on sale a little bit. Partly because the yarns I like are the expensive ones. I'm drawn to the expensive yarns for some reason. And it's not necessarily what they are. It's just, like the colors. I just, but anyway. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Mayor says, every single time I've been to Hobby Lobby, they overcharge me on something. It's so annoying. And you did share that with me in a recent phone conversation that we had. And that would be frustrating. And I do. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, grocery store or whatever. I'm watching as everything rings up. Numbers are my thing. They sure were not when I was growing up in math class. I can tell you that. Math was my subject I struggled with my entire education until I got into college. And then for some reason, it just clicked. But after that, numbers are my thing. I can look at a set of numbers and I can memorize 12 numbers like that and see them as if I'm staring at a picture. But you put anything else up in front of me, it's gone. So I'm constantly watching, so don't jip me with numbers. But I hate that, Mayor. That makes it a very not so fun experience. Because then you can't really go back and say, I don't have this item, but yet I'm paying for it, Bree says, being turned loose in Lion Brand store would be like a crack addict placed on Crack Rock Island. I'm obsessive compulsive when it comes to yarn. Well, I've seen these shirts and stuff around, and it's so true. Buying yarn and crocheting with yarn are two entirely different hobbies. And when I first saw that, I was like, I don't get it. Well, not only do I get it, but that's a good word, Bree. I feel like a yarn addict. And it's not just about looking at it. It's about touching it and feeling it, and becoming one with the skein. If you're not a young person, it's just hard to explain it. I think my kids all think I'm nuts, but they're just kind of like, well, if it makes mom happy, okay. But they don't complain about the stuff I make for them, which leads me up, and I'll come back to your comment questions. My FO. I have an FO. I still have to wash it and block it, but I finished my daughter-in-law's hoodie sweatshirt. And I'm going to try and get back here so you can see it. Fortunately, the daybed won't let the wheelchair go any further, but this is it. Here's her little hoodie, and it's got the open V-neck. And I'm going to raise it up in a minute, but it's got the pockets in the front. But there you go. And here's the pockets. And then the sleeves. I will tell you, I do like the Crochet Dude Dogs male pattern a little bit better than this female pattern. And when I made my youngest son's girlfriend Megan's, the purple one, when I made hers, I used the male pattern. And then when it got to the V-neck, because I gave her a V-neck too. Sorry, trying to get this tire around the base. I kind of just winged it and figured out how to do this with hers. But I'll tell you the main difference. And then this one was completely the female pattern all the way, except the hood I did the hood off of the male pattern, and the female pattern did not have the pockets on the front. So I just took those from the male pattern. And on the female pattern, on the sides here, it had you create a slit up the side, and I didn't like the slit. So I wanted it to be a solid one piece. So I came back and I just put like a ribbed, edging around the bottom, and I did the same thing around the cuff. And anyway, this is why I don't care for the female. If you look, and you can really see it more so because of the way the colorway turned out when it came to this variegated red heart ombre scuba color. See how it creates this kind of square right here? Let me see if I can hold that out and you can see it. So here's where the sleeve is joining. And if you can tell, it creates kind of like this squared off look. Now, luckily, when it's being worn, you can't see it as much, but I really don't care for that. With the other one, it just went on differently. I mean, it had it where it came down, and then the section went out a little bit. But when you sewed it on or whip stitched it, the way you did it, it was kind of like doing it more in a circle versus this kind of squared off look. And I just like that better. And I will be curious to see how this wears, being that squared off versus the circle, because her husband, my son, his is more of the circle where hers is more the squared off. So I'll be curious to see. Oh, look, you can see it even better, what I'm talking about here. So can you see that? So here's the back panel, and it comes in that much. Let me get closer, and maybe you can, well, then you can't see it at all. But see, you can see that squared off look there. Whereas before, it kind of just curves around in kind of a circle. And I feel like it just gives maybe a little bit more arm room and stuff. But nonetheless, I am happy. I think it turned out really great. I hope she likes it. But yeah. So that is finished. I meant to show that to you the week before Easter, but I completely forgot about it. Mare says, Hobby Lobby yarn is lovely, and I like too many of their sections, but every single time overcharged. And that's so sad. Petra says, he's finding joy in everything and on everything, and the overhead music is so uplifting. You know what? You are right about that. Because wasn't that Christian music actually that we heard today? I mean, I don't know that it's always that way, but I think today, because we did comment on that. Jen says, wait till Violet gets a hold of your chalkboard and erases it all. I know. So I'm glad you said that, Jen. That reminds me that I'll just have to take a picture, because it does change week to week as far as like in the bottom section. But everything on the days, it's the same. So I appreciate you sharing that, because I will take a picture of it. What?
Tell the boys don't mess with them off trees.
Tell the boys?
Like you used to tell our boys.
Oh, he's saying tell her just like I used to tell the boys. These are pretties. We don't mess with the pretties. But anyway. But yeah. Now I will tell you, I was working on this blanket, and I was holding her. I had it sitting on my lap, and I was playing with her, and she had on a onesie, and it's kind of starting to get a little bit harder for me to hold her right now. She's actually 12 pounds. She's a little over 4 months at this point. And but she was sitting there taking her hands and putting her fingers through it, trying to pull it up to her mouth. But then she was taking her feet and she was stretching her feet, and her little toes would go into the holes, and she loved it. It's so soft and plush. So she was like, you know, playing all in it, and it was cute as could be. But anyway, I'm like, that's right. You get the feel of this yarn. You know, Grandma needs you to fall in love with yarn. So. But yes, Jen, I will need to take a picture. Yes, Mayor, I completely agree. 100%. AC Moore did spoil us. Mayor says, my work with numbers pays my bills. Yes, you do have a job that works with lots of numbers. Mayor says, that is lovely. Kelly, hello. You made my heart smile today, my friend. You know what I'm talking about. I love good news. Good news, good news. Glad you're here with us. She says, I love that. Great job. And I think you're talking about the hoodie. Froggy Winna Knitting says, love it. So I'm assuming y'all are talking about the hoodie. Thank you so much. It was frustrating. I was very unhappy with the sleeves when I whip stitched the first one on. I whip stitched it on 3 times, took it off, completely redid the sleeves, and the 4th time I put it on, I was happy. So I redid the other sleeve and put it on only once. So yeah, I was really, really happy to finish that one. So hopefully sometime into summer, first portion of fall, I can get started on Todd and Mines, because honestly, it really does not take long to make one of these. It looks like it would, but it really doesn't. I mean, if you have a good afternoon, you could easily do the hood and the pocket all in one day. And the same thing with the 2 sleeves. And you know, depending on how big you're making it, like mine will be obviously a lot bigger than Todd's. So Todd's will take me no time. But on mine's, it'll probably take me, you know, double the time to do it. But nonetheless, I mean, I could easily do one for both of us in a month if I really gave it some time. So, but I'm excited. I can't wait. We just are trying to decide if we want what color we want to do ours in, and if we want them to be matching. And I said, well, we could do both, you know. I just can't promise them both for winter, but maybe when we retire and we're old people sitting up in the mountains, we can have matching hoodies. So Petra says, hi, Kelly. Mara says, hi, Kelly. Leanne says, I see it. And Kelly says, happy Friday, hugs to all. You're so sweet. Jen says, hi, Kelly. Hello, HD. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Thank you for all your sweet comments. It has really made my week, especially this past week. You've just really lifted me up, and so I thank you for that. She says, hi, Cynthia, and a big heart emoji. And then she says, hi, everyone. And Petra says, can I share a bit of good news? Please. Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. Forgive me that I've run my mouth so long that you have had to wait a hot minute for that answer, because she sent me that question like 3 minutes ago. HD said, thumbs up. Mare says, please do, Petra. Thank you, Mare. And Mare says, whose pattern did you use? So the gentleman pattern is by the Crochet Dude, and it's called the dog pattern, DAWG. And I just Googled it, and that's how it came up, because when I found that pattern, it was before I was really into YouTube. The female, I think I did her the same way, because I actually have just patterns for both of them. But if anyone is interested, because I've already sent it to a couple people, if anyone is interested in these patterns, just email me and I will be happy, you know, to attach those in an email and send them to you. I cannot remember the female's name. Actually, guess what? I don't have my wand right here. I got it right here. If I can, just don't. Okay, I did. Now on hers, she used Bernat Chunky, and I used Red Heart Ombre, the scuba color. But it's hers called Hooded Sweatshirt to Crochet, and well, it actually does not list a designer name. But this is the pattern. And so if I email it to you, this is what it will look like for the female version. And as you can tell, I'll try and hold this close, she has no pocket on there. And see the way she did hers with the hat, see how that V, I don't know if you can really see that. Let me see if I can. Oh, I'm on a live. Huh. I was going to do like I was on my, I don't think I can. No. The way she does it is it's a lot more open. So it opens and it has more of the chest showing than mine does. With mine, after I did the V, so hers would have been more, hers comes out more like this, more wide open, even with the hoodie. But what I did with mine is I took, when I started with the hoodie before I did it, I went around the V and I added a single crochet around it. And that kind of gave it more of this closed in, more shape versus having it more wide and open. But anyway, so now normally I would do a ribbed edging around the hoodie, but that's because when I do the males, it kind of comes kind of like this. So, and then you have the hoodie going around. And when you do that hoodie, you can put that ribbed edging on, and it's all in alignment. But because of the V, when I did the hoodie, in order to do a ribbed, it would have it stick out some. So it would, it would have come out just a little bit and gone around. And I thought that would look kind of tacky. So for her hoodie, hers is the only one that I didn't put, the same kind of ribbing that I did around the sleeves and around the waist on. So, but anyway, and then of course you're not going to be able to see it, but she's got her hands in her pocket and you can kind of see how she's got the slit there. But again, I didn't put the slits in. But if you're interested, I will be more than happy to share that, because again, I've had these patterns for, gosh, at least 15, 16 years, and maybe 14. And same thing with the dog, the crochet dude. I had his first. I only came across hers after the fact. So that's why I'm saying it might be only about 14 years I've had this pattern. But anyway, I'll be happy to share them. Just email me. All right, so let's see if Petra shared her good news. I hope so. She did. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. So she says, I'm going to be in Omaha for the 3rd time. This one will be a boy. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Petra. I know your heart is just so happy. Oh my gosh. Kelly says, yay, Petra. And she has all these emojis that have hearts on them. And again, if you're new to my channel and you're coming in for the first time with me on this Cup2Hook conversation, any of my videos, especially live, and I'm reading comments, It's because I do have 4 subscribers that are legally blind. And so I like to read my comments and who says them so that they can be an active part of our conversation. Otherwise, the only really part they're hearing is what I say. And you guys say a whole lot more interesting stuff than I do. So I definitely want them to be a part of our time together. So if you're new, that's why I read the comments. Oh my gosh, Petra, that is so awesome. HD's giving you heart emojis. HD says working, knitting a, I bet it's French, and I'm going to slaughter it. A crochet hat? Crochet hat? I know I'm not saying that right. Bree says, Alex update. Oh my gosh, this night is getting better and better. I can't wait. You ready? Last treatment is over, you guys. Now, if you have been following on Cup2Hook Bible Chats, I have been keeping updates on her there. And so I've been able to share that she will be able to complete her senior year at school. Oh my gosh, Bree, this is so amazing. Last treatment. School here bringing all kids back for last 6 weeks, and Alex will rejoin her class and friends in attending. Thank you for all your prayers. All spots have shrunk or are gone. You guys, so if you're new, Alex is 17 years old, a senior, and she had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so we have been praying for her, lifting her up with little, cards and little small gifts of butterfly kisses. And oh my gosh, this is amazing, Bree. This is even better than the last time I talked to you. So, oh my gosh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Mare says, sure. Mare says, how cool. Congrats, sweetheart. HD says, congratulations. And Bree, oh, that is so cool. Jen says, praise the Lord. Mare says, how wonderful for Alex. And Petra says, praise the Lord, Bree. Oh my gosh, please, please give her a big hug from all of us. Oh my gosh. And of course, you will have to send me some prom pictures so that I can share with everyone. So, oh my gosh. Oh, that is fantastic. Fantastic. And I just want to thank all of you that have, lifted Alex up in whatever way you have, whether it be hats, when she went through chemo and lost her beautiful hair, cards that just, sent her words of encouragement and smiles. I know some of you sent her Christmas ornaments and, mugs. And every time I found a piece of clothing that had Lilo and Stitch on it, I had to get it for her. So thank y'all so much. HD says, praise the Lord, and has the praying hands. Yes, yes. All right. So I'm going to check my planner because that's where I put notes. Okay, yes, yes. So why not do Saturday shout outs? My little helpful arm wand is what I call it, is over there and I can't reach it. So I'm struggling to get this. And I tried to be as prepared before we left this morning, but I got it. The only thing I didn't get done for today is I didn't get the names written out for this past Saturday shout out. So I'll read them. We're not drawing their names just yet. So I have time to get it in there. But let me go grab our shout out box. You guys, I pray none of my PT instructors watch my videos. I can just hear them every time I'm stretching, every time I'm bending, every time I'm twisting. All right. So if you're new, this is our Saturday shout out box. I have a red one in case I'm still waiting on someone from the previous month. And again, if you're new, every Saturday I do just a little name shout out. That's all. You'll have to catch the video. It's a little over a minute and it plays the Farmer in the Dell music. And it's a little catchy tune, but it just says thank you. It's my way of saying thank you to people who have subscribed to my channel. Some of them I may talk with them, once, like from the Christmas and July fairies. I gained a lot of subscribers from that. Some of them I can tell you at least 3 things that are their favorite things. But anyway, it doesn't matter how well I know you. Just the mere fact that you support my channel, I just want to say thank you. So I send out a video every Saturday that shouts out 8 names of subscribers and then 2 names of content creators. And before long, I will have done a shout out for all of my subscribers that I'll have to do a couple videos of content creators. And how exciting will that be? Especially if there's a content creator on there that you've never heard of, and that introduction will be made, and that will be great for you and it will be great for them. But then the first Friday of every month, I will then draw a name out of those folks that we shouted out. And if I draw their name, then I just send a little love gift. It varies from month to month. It may be, anywhere from, a handful of stitch markers to a mug with some teas. It might be a set of crochet hooks. It might be some yarn. I mean, just whatever God blesses me with that I can turn around and bless others with. But anyway, it's never the same. And so we were not together last Friday because it was Good Friday. And I do apologize to everyone that I just did not put 2 and 2 together, coming back into circuit, so to speak, after taking some time off to recover, that the last time we were together, that even though I knew, last weekend was going to be Easter, and I'm certainly a big part of Good Friday, but I didn't put it together in time in the thought process while we were together to say, hey, we're not going to meet. And so I hope that you were all able to catch that little Easter video that I put out, just saying that we weren't meeting. But again, I apologize that, I wasn't able to do that while we were face to face. So because we were not together last Friday, being the first Friday of April, we are going to draw a name from our March shout outs to see who I can send a little bit of love and joy to, hopefully this week if I hear from them. So, all right, I see some comments coming in, so let me just check real quick. Bree says, of course, tons of pics. Oh, I love it. She's talking about prom pictures. She loves all her hats and gifts. All the nurses talked about her beautiful hats. Oh, that makes my heart smile. Hello, Miss Shirley. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is another woman who just can warm your heart. It is so good to have you here. She says, oh my gosh, I was on at 7 your time, and I thought you might not be here. Glad I checked back. Hello, everyone. I will have to go back and see what I missed. Hugs to all. Miss Shirley, that was my fault. I don't think I got on until 7:10, which would have been 5:10 your time. Todd, Mr. Joyful, and I had been out on the road all day. We drove to Easley, South Carolina to see his grandmother for the first time in just under a year and a half because of COVID. She's in assisted living. And oh my gosh, it was so great to see her. But she lives a little over 2 hours one way from us. So we were on the road a good bit today, just driving. And we got back just a few minutes past 7 for me to get in here and get on. So I apologize for being late. But I do have some good news that Todd's grandmother, 2 weeks from today, so I will remind y'all next Friday, we will not meet because I'm going to ride with them even though I can't do anything, and that breaks my heart because we helped her move before from her apartment into the assisted living. But my husband and his brother and his cousin and her husband are going to pack grandma up, and she is moving to Charleston, South Carolina to live with my husband's cousin Karen and her husband. And so that will put her about 2 to 2.5 hours from us, but we can see her anytime we want. And we've been requested to, kind of help come sit with her for a weekend every month, so that, Karen and Philip can kind of have a break. And that just excites Todd and I, because before COVID, we were going to see her every other weekend, and we would literally spend all weekend with her. And we'd get off of work on Friday, and we would drive there, and we'd always say we were going to leave after lunch on Sunday. You guys, it was like 7, 8, 9 o'clock before we'd ever get out of there, and then it would be midnight before we'd get home, and it was just crazy. But so we're excited about that. So that was some good news for us. So Miss Shirley, I'm glad you checked back. Bree says, hi, Shirley. Shirley says, you're definitely forgiven. What a blessing to get to see her. Praises for that. Yes. We've never seen her with long hair. Every week on Saturday, she would go get her hair done. And so this was the first time we'd seen her with long hair. And I thought my hair had gotten long because I've not been to the beautician myself since December. And so, I ended up having to leave work the end of January. So I had to cancel my February appointment. So I've not had a hair trimming since December. And I thought my hair had gotten long, but hers, and it's so beautiful. It's white. Anyway. All right. What'd you say?
This is straight as can be.
Yes, and just straight. So pretty. Okay. So these names have to go in here before I can draw a name. And I know normally I type them out, but right now my budget's getting tight since, I've not worked since January. So right now I'm writing them out. So I hope that you'll be okay with that. Again, if I mispronounce a name, please forgive me. I don't mean to. I will do my best to say it correctly. So we have Terry Bell. And DBU. Anita Davies. Katie Higgins. Annika, is it Karam? Karam? Dawn Lazarine. Molly Crochets. And Laurie Probino. And then our 2 content creators for that Saturday is Kelly's Crochet Adventures and the Crochet Nurse Sheila. And I know she lives in Greenville, South Carolina, and that's close to where I was today, but we've never really talked in a chat or, connected. But she's real close to me. That would be really cool. All right, so time to draw a name. Mayor says, new names, nice. Hello, Veronica. Oh my gosh, you guys, Veronica's here. And she says, hi. All right. Here we go. And it's a content creator. It is Winding Road Crochet. So sweet. So I will do my best to try and reach out to her. And I am still waiting to hear from February's person that I drew. And I'm going to give them till next week. If I don't hear from them, then I'll come back and draw another one for February. I still have those in the red box. And the reason I'm going to give it one more week is because I have not had a chance to go over to their discussion tab and try to reach out to them. And so I will try to do that. And if I don't hear from her, then we'll just draw another name for February. And so I do have names real quick that were for last week, which starts our April names. I did not get them written out in strips, but I don't have the capacity to drop them in the box yet. So God works things out in his own way. But let me share those names real quick. So this past Saturday, we had Viola LaFavors, Trish Lewis, Sharon Mullinex, who happens to be my aunt, Yvette Neves, Rosemary Padrick, Lyanne Pelletier, Joyce Rawson, Jackie Sharp, and our two content creators are Rose Likes Crochet and Simply Shelby. And again, if you're new to my channel, on those Saturday shoutouts, if they are a content creator, you will find the links to their channels in the description box. So all you have to do is go click on that link and it'll automatically take you over to them. And you can subscribe to them, and which we call throwing yarn in their window. All right. HD says, hi, Veronica. Veronica says, yay, I'm so happy I can be here today. Me too. And Petra says, hi, Veronica. You are so loved, Veronica. I hope you know that. You guys, if you're new on my channel, please, please, please go check out her show. I keep saying every Sunday I'm going to, and Todd and I have already talked about that window being open. But unfortunately, Veronica, I didn't make it last Sunday simply because I was asleep. I still am falling asleep every couple hours. So I'm hoping I will make it through movie night. But I did have a little bit of a nap time on the drive today, so hopefully that will help too. Petra says, hi, Veronica. Jen says, hi, V. Veronica says, hi, Petra. Shirley says, hi, Veronica. And Veronica says, hi, Jen. Hi, Shirley. Froggy Winna Knitting says, hey, V. HD says, hey, Petra, Jen, Shirley, Mare, and Bree. Veronica says, Froggy, hello. HD says, hi, Froggy. Veronica says, hello, HD. And Froggy says, hey, HD. And let me come over here and make some of you folks blue. But if you are a content creator, before we get off of here, if you can, go ahead and share your link so our beautiful, wonderful folks that are on here can come over to your channel and say hello. Like Froggy right now, I'm making you blue, so you can do that. I just did HD, so she should be turning blue soon. Oh, that don't sound good. I don't want you turning blue. All right. So there's Froggy's. Is there anyone else on here that's not blue that would like to be, so they can include their link? You guys, I haven't talked to David in a while. So if y'all see him, please tell him I said hello. I know that I was, like I said, out of circuit for a little bit trying to recover, but Oh, that's so sweet. Froggy added HD's link there. There's Petra's. Veronica was saying that's okay, sweet Cynthia, and a emoji with hearts. I'm gonna set the alarm clock. Well, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So, of course, it was Easter Sunday. Todd and I were able to go to church for the first time in probably about 15 months. So it'd been over a year, and I was so happy. Um, being in a wheelchair, we waited to be the last ones in, and we were the first ones out. So it was kind of like we waved to everyone, and it was nice. But it was nice to actually be in fellowship versus just watching on TV. So that was nice. But that's what happened, Veronica. It just was just too much because after we left church, we went to Walmart, and as typical to these past few months, if I'm with him, I sit in the car because it's just easier that way. And he goes in and gets what he needs or we need. And then he came out. We went and picked up something to eat. He took me to a park, and we sat outside in the sun and just based in the sun for a good bit. And then my youngest son came over and hung out with us, and I fell asleep on both of them. And when I woke up, I got to spend about another hour and a half with my son before he had to leave and go to work. So I was not only bummed that I missed your show, but I was bummed that I fell asleep on him because he's my youngest son, Andrew, and he's 22. He lives 2 blocks from me. And even though he's the son right now that lives the closest to me, he's the one that I don't see very often. And part of that is because he's young and he has a girlfriend. So he's spending time with her. He spends time with his friends, playing video games. And he's a security guard. And right now, he's been picking up a lot of extra shifts or working double shifts. And they usually work 8-hour shifts. So some days he's worked 16 hours. And so I'm very proud of him. But nonetheless, I miss him, especially being my baby. But anyway, I don't like falling asleep on people. Although some of you on here know that I have fallen asleep on you. And I'm sorry. In fact, I'm going to tell the truth. For all of my Cup2Hook Bible chat friends, I was struggling to finish our Bible study, the one that came out today. I was struggling. I recorded it yesterday afternoon, and I don't know if y'all could tell, those of you that watched that one, but I was struggling to stay awake. It was tough. So they got me on some good stuff, y'all. But I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this detour to be over. HD thanked Froggy for sharing her link. And, oh, thank you, Froggy. She shared Veronica's link, too. Veronica, are you blue? Do I have you blue? Yes. Okay. All right. Shirley says, I know you probably already discussed this, but what's behind you in blue? That's the hoodie that I have finished for my daughter-in-law. And so, real quick, this is it. And it's long sleeve. It's got pockets in the front, just like a sweatshirt hoodie. And it has a hoodie. And I'll have a video coming out that will show this close up and in detail. I just have to get somebody to help me, like my husband or my sons, until I'm back on my own 2 feet. But that's what that is. Froggy says, you are welcome, HD. Jen says, I almost forgot. I have good news. Do tell. Jebediah just put out 4 brand new songs on all music platforms. I would appreciate you guys checking him out if you would. Jebediah Reeves. Absolutely, Jen. Froggy says, yay, Jen. Jen says, thanks, Jennifer. Jen says, great date afternoon. It really, really was. So I saw this at the beginning of our time together. So Froggy went a knitting. Is your first name Jennifer? I mean, Froggy, I've been kind of, zooming in and out of your videos for some time, but I don't always catch people's first names. So I've noticed that after you've commented, they've said Jennifer. So is that your first name, Jennifer? And if so, I will write it down and I will add it to your page because you have your own individual page in my subscriber notebook. And again, if anyone is on here and you don't think I have your birth date, please share your birth date and you will get a special birthday video on your birth date. Mare says, how nice, Jen. Jen says, thanks, Mare. And Kelly has Kelly has snoring emojis, and yes, Kelly is one that I have fallen asleep on more than one time. Mare, I'm sure I've fallen asleep on you. Jen, I don't think I've fallen asleep on you yet, and I'll say yet. Kelly says, laugh out loud. Thank you, Kelly, because I know I have fallen asleep on you multiple times. Veronica says, hi, Mare, with emoji with hearts around the face. Veronica says, yes, I'm blue. Okay. And you are. I just want to make sure, because we definitely all need to come to your channel. You want to talk about fun, you guys. Even though I can't testify to it as much, shame on me. That's going to change. I've heard. And so if you want a lot of fun, a lot of good fun and great, just daily laughter, which is so good for the heart and soul, this is the gal to connect with. Mare says, hey V. HD says, beautiful. An emoji with stars. Shirley says, I love it. Do you have a pattern? Yes, Shirley. If you will email me, I can send you the pattern for the female version and the male version. Just so you know, Shirley, this hoodie and the pockets I took from the male version. So if you can, go back and listen to the beginning of this video. If you have to, just scroll through where I start showing the hoodie, because I talked in detail about it. And that would help you out, especially if you're going to try and attempt to make one yourself. Mare says, yes, it is. Froggy says, okay. I think Mare's answering yes, that Froggy When a Knitting's name is Jennifer. Okay, and she's saying, yes, you can call me Jennifer, Jen, or Froggy. And oh, I'm so glad you shared your birthday with me because it's this month. Now, I've already done April birthday month, the videos for April, but I have plenty of time, my friend, to get that out. And I'll send you a link, Jennifer, when that goes out so that you can definitely click on that, because it amazes me every video, even though they're similar or the same, just the name change. The amount of people that come on and wish those individuals happy birthday just makes my heart smile. So they will definitely lift your day. So I will get that added on, and I will add your name and your birthday to your page in my subscriber notebook. Anyone else that doesn't think I have their birthday, let me hear from you, and I'll get it written down. Okay. Mare says Froggy is Jennifer. She says, can I have Sin? I have fallen asleep on you also. Well, then you're good, my friend, because I didn't know it. Jen says, well, I have fallen asleep on you. Oh, maybe y'all are talking about on movie night, because I know, Jen, you've fallen asleep on movie night, which that's understandable, especially the days that you've had. Mare says, I also have fallen asleep on V's Blingo too. Aww. Veronica says, Cynthia, I just follow you in Instagram and Facebook. Oh, that makes my heart smile. Well, I am planning. I'm not gonna make a promise because I don't like making promises that I can't keep. But I am planning before this is all over with and I get to go back to work that I am going to update my Facebook and Instagram because I used to go on all the time. If I put a video on YouTube, I went and put the link on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then about November, I quit doing that. And I very seldom touch those other social platforms. And that's a shame because I have made some wonderful friends through those platforms. So the long story of it is I'm not going to be putting video links on there anymore, but I'm going to start sharing pictures of whips in progress, completed things, and with permission, any of my YouTube friends that share their work with me, that give me permission, then I'm also going to share them. And if you're a content creator and you share something with me and you give me your permission, then on those platforms, then you are getting exposed or exposure for other people to come check you out. So I'm all about sharing love. So Mare says yes on movie night. I can understand that. I can make a confession, and my husband knows because he's the one who actually woke me up. But there was a night that I dozed off on movie night, and I'm the one asking the questions. But he saved me. So, but there are times those movie nights we had gotten long-winded. But oh, the fun we have. Speaking of which, movie night started 4 minutes ago. So let's end with our Joy Basket moment real quick. And again, since she's with us, this Joy Basket moment is a blessing to all of us through the love and joy and graciousness of Kelly Platter. And it's coming from the book she sent us on Amazing Grace. And so for those of you who might be new to me, Joy Basket Moments is just a time of reflection and a little devotion to kind of help just jumpstart us through the weekend and fuel us through the week until we can come back together and love on one another and just encourage one another. All right. So this one here is entitled Gentle Spirit. And the verse that they share with us is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. And it says, let it be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable quality of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is precious in the sight of God. It says, writing specifically to Christian wives, Peter cautioned that women find their true worth and beauty in their unseen character rather than their outward appearance. As women, we are daily inundated with messages about our appearance, and we're given insurmountable standards. Rather than striving to achieve some form of impossible physique, our focus should be on cultivating a humble and quiet heart. Peter is not commanding women to stay quiet, but to possess a quiet spirit. To obtain this necessitates a level of peace and contentment. It means overcoming anxiety and strife, faithfully leaning on God in every aspect of life, and choosing to be gentle like Christ. It's often easier to harden our hearts. In a world that praises impenetrable toughness, we need to choose to follow the example of Christ, who was literally pierced for the sake of love. Lord, it is so much easier to allow our heart to grow hard and hide behind a cover of not caring. Instead, we pray that you will keep us gentle and loving, keep our hearts open to weeping and laughing and learning. We desire to be precious in your sight. If not silence, what are the outward signs of a gentle and quiet spirit? And that's just something for you to reflect upon. And next time we're together, next Friday, we're going to talk about tempered anger. Whew. All right. You guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed being together with you again. I'm just kind of looking around real quick and making sure I'm not leaving anything out. If you are a Longmire fan and you are working along on the Longmire blanket and you may not have been with us at the beginning, please go back and check it out because Monday's completed section was revealed tonight. And oh, speaking of that, as I sit here and look, I will do it also with the dream catcher. You're just going to get the rough draft of what I have. But I was talking with one of my my channel friends, because I don't like calling y'all subscribers. That just sounds awful. I'll call you my channel friends. I was speaking with one of my channel friends, and we were talking about being able to glimpse at times during the tutorial at the pattern and showing you how it moves. She said was very helpful. So I'm actually going to take pictures of the arrows and the dream catcher. Again, it's going to be on my rough draft, so you'll get all the scribblings and stuff, but you can at least see the pattern. I'm going to take pictures of that, and I'm going to include that in Monday's video somewhere at the beginning, so that if you really want to have that, you can pause the video and actually have it to physically look at. If anyone emails me, I'll be happy to actually send it to you as an attachment. You just have to request it. Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else we haven't discussed, need to discuss real quick before we get off of here? Mayor says, be there or be square, talking about movie night. Shirley says, everyone hit the thumbs up and I will see everyone next week. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you. If you would hit the thumbs up button for me. Also, it kind of came out in a video this past week. So you'll definitely have to go back and check out the videos this week. But I also mentioned, March was my 1-year pod anniversary. And unfortunately, due to everything that's just been crazy going on with this whole recovery from my back surgery and losing my leg mobility, I didn't get a chance to celebrate it. And so March the 4th was my 1-year pod anniversary. And I was so excited to achieve that. And I have been working on new things, as you can see, with the Wednesdays on the hooks, with the Yarn Joy Adventures on Sundays, adding some new things, changing some things up a little bit, just trying to improve so that I can be a better servant to you guys in bringing crochet content and, sharing my heart and my love and passion for Jesus and just bringing joy, just trying to help bring a little bit of joy to your life. And so if there's any area that you feel that I can improve on or something that you find just to be kind of like, and not so important, maybe not something you're so interested in watching, I appreciate that feedback. And again, I apologize that the video that came out yesterday under my Joyful Life segment, that some of the pictures did not upload. Mayor, again, I appreciate you sharing that with me, and I will kind of update those in a future video, just so you guys can meet my Callie and my grand dog Falcor. All right. Veronica says, girls, prepare your pillows. I'm just kidding. And Jennifer says, I love it. And thank you so much. Can't wait until next week. Me neither. All right. Well, you guys have an amazing week. And as always, I really want you to be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and come join me whenever you can. And I am going to try and join you guys as much as I can as well. I love you. Hugs, everyone. Squeeze tight. These are some of the best hugs ever. Mwah. I love you. Bye. Those of you joining me for movie night, can you give me about 5 minutes to get my shoes off and change out of these clothes? And I will be right there with you. All right. See you soon. Bye.